YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Morphaze, and we are checking back in with another banger. In this video today, it's a real simple haircut. We going with the slick back look, knocking down a little bit of hair on the sides. We are going to do a medium skin taper, fade out the back, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this haircut step by step. Just like always, just comb out the hair in the direction that it wants to grow. But in this case, we are going to be slicking my client's hair backwards. He do want a little bit off the top, not a lot, just a little bit. And we are going to add some texture up there as well. So we just going to saturate the client hair with water. My client does have really thick hair, so I sprayed a lot of water in his head just to get it nice and saturated, basically just giving him a second shower of the day. So we're going to start off with the scissor work on top. So instead of going straight across with my cuts, I decided to do some point cutting just to add that texture. And you see I'm just following that guideline going straight across. Now, the reason why I started liking point cutting better than just cutting straight across, sometimes when clients want their hair like super low, sometimes you can still see like little lines of your cuts that's on top of your scissor work. And I really didn't like that. You know, the hair can be cut down evenly. You could have did everything the right way, but sometimes you still just see like them lines in the client's head from the scissor work. So when you are point cutting, you are giving it a rougher look, but you also add in texture as well. And I feel this technique is way better, especially when you are styling or these kids want the fringe or they want that messy look on top. Bro, it knocks everything out all in once. You know, it cuts length and you also giving the hair texture as well. So this is actually what I started doing on all my scissor work. I just started just point cutting, and you see a major difference when you get to start styling the hair and you want that hair nice and textured. Now that the scissor work is done, I just slicked everything back just to see how everything is flowing, but we still want enough length and enough flow for everything to go backwards. Then I just picked up the 5 and I'm going straight up and I'm scooping right out where I see that weight at. We want to keep all that weight, and that's also what's going to slick right back, and that's what's going to style once I start, you know, blending that hair in with my blending shear. So just keep in mind that weight I don't want to get rid of it, but we do want to clean up all that hair that's on the side. So once you get up to the bulk of that hair, just scoop right out so we can control that weight, and we are about to create the shape as well. So we're just going right up and we just scooping right out. Then you can come back after the cut is finished and we can refine the rest of the haircut. But for now, we just focus on debulking and creating that shape and keeping that weight right on the side of his head. And this is the lowest that I will be going down, is a 5. Now we're going to come back with the Tune 45 trimmers, and we just want to set in our first broad guideline. Then we're going to come in with the no guard open, going up about a full inch, going over this guideline multiple times to make sure that we have it down to a desired length. You can see my client have a calic right there in the corner. And to take this line out, we just want to start close, and we're going to start to tap at that line. Once that line shifts, we're going to open up our lever 1 notch and tap at that line. Once that line shifts, we're going to open up our lever again, and we should be halfway in the lever, and we should be at the very top of that guideline, and your line should be completely faded out. Now I'm going to come back with the 0.5 guard, and I am halfway in my lever, and I'm going up about 1 inch as well, keeping everything nice and consistent, going over the guideline multiple times to make sure I have it down to a desired length. Now I'm going to close the lever up all the way, and now my main focus is just hitting the very bottom of that guideline. I don't want to go up any higher. Now we're going to take the guard off, and we're going to go all the way open in the lever and just take out the rest of that line that was left over from the 0.5 guard. If you need to go up a little bit higher in the fade, just make sure that the lever is all the way open. Or if this line is not coming out, gradually open up your lever until the line comes completely out. Now we're going to throw on the 2 guard, and I am going up, and now I am scooping right out because I do not want to create another harsh guy line. I just want the fade to stop right there. So I'm scooping right out, not to create another guy line. Then we are going to close the 2 up all the way, and we're just going to hit the very bottom of the line. Now this 2 close is not going to take that guy line out. It's just going to soften it up. Then we're going to jump right back down to the 1 guard open, just hitting the very bottom of the line, just softening it up, and it should start to lighten up at this part. Now we close the 1 guard up all the way, still just hitting the very bottom of the line. And you can see how the fade is starting to come all the way together. Just flicking at that line, man. That's all we're doing. Our main focus is that line. We're not worrying about nothing else. And we also using the corners as well. Now I'm going to throw back on the 0.5 guard, and now I'm basically just detailing out this back taper. I am all the way open. If I need to adjust my lever as needed, I will, but we're just trying to get rid of the rest of that line that was left over from that 1, just to bring this back taper all the way together. Now we're going to work on the side taper. I threw back on the 5 just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Then I come back with the 4 open, and I'm running that 4 right underneath where I left off with the 5. And as I get right underneath it, I am scooping right out. Then I come back with the number 3 guard, and I'm going right underneath where I left off with the 4. Then I'm going to close it up all the way. And all I'm doing is just creating shape and debulking. Now I'm going to line up his C-cup area. We're going to keep everything nice and natural. And this is something I recently just started doing. Before I do the taper area, I like to just line up the C-cup area. Then we're going to set in our first ball guy line at the bottom of the C-cup. Then we're going to ball him out completely. Then we're going to come back, lever open, going up about a 1/2 inch. Then we're going to close the lever up all the way. Tap at that line. Once it's shipped up, we're going to open up the lever 1 notch. Tap at that line. Once it's shipped up, we should be halfway in the lever, and our line should be completely faded out. If it's not out, just go back and repeat the same exact steps. Then we're going to come with the 0.5 halfway, using the corner of the blade because we are working in a smaller area. Then we're going to close the lever up all the way, still using the corners. But our main focus is just hitting the very bottom of that guide line just to soften it up. Then we're going to take the guard off, come back, no guard open, hitting that guide line, just the bottom, still using the corners. If the line is not coming out, just adjust your lever as needed. So I'm just going to open up my lever little by little until that line come out. And we just attacking that line. You can see it's starting to come out. Just hitting them little dark spots and just hitting the rest of that line. Now we're going to throw on the 2 guard. And now we're going to put this 2 right underneath that number 3 where we left off at. Then we're going to close it up all the way. And now we're just going to hit the very bottom of that line. Just start to soften it up. Then we're going to come back with the 1 guard. We're going to start open. Then we're going to close it. Just hit the very bottom of the line. Now I am starting to just down fade everything right down. Then we're going to come back with the 0.5 guard. We're going to start open, and then we are going to close it. You can see my transition is starting to come together, and I created myself a nice blurry taper. see how I'm just using the corners, trying to just attack them dark spots that I see. And just like that, man, that's how you create yourself a nice blurry taper. Now I'm just detailing everything out with the 0.5 still. Then I'm going to take the guard off. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of detail work with the lever open. Just using them corners, being super precise, hitting them dark spots to really get this taper nice and blurry. And you can see the shape that I created as well. I like how there's a lot of weight there right at the top. I feel like it makes the taper pop out even more. But these are small little details, man, that really just take your fade or your taper to the next level. Now we are just gonna line everything up. Keep everything nice and natural. All them overhanging hairs that you see, man, we can just get rid of them. Just be sure not to push the client back. You would know when you are pushing somebody back on the neckline because you would see the white flush start to show, and that's not good. So just make sure that you keep everything nice and natural. Natural is the best way, and it will grow back way better for the client, and it will last longer. I know some barbers that will push their client back on the neckline to give it more like that crispy look. Sometimes not all clients can get super crispy, man. Sometimes you have to line them up natural. I would rather line somebody up natural than push them back to try to get that crispy look. When you are pushing somebody back, you know, when the hairs start to really grow back in, they're going to see it. But if you line somebody up natural, it's going to grow back better and it's going to last longer. So now we're just going to repeat the same exact steps for the other side. I'm going to starting off with my 4, going right up, scooping right out. Then we're going to come right underneath it with the number 3 guard open. We're going up and we are scooping right out, just creating that little shape. Now before we get into the taper, I'm going to line up the C-cup area, start right at the bottom of the vertical bar, come at the bottom of the C-cup and just draw in a C. Now we're going to make our first initial ball guideline. Ball him completely out with the foil shaver. Come back, lever open, going up about a ½ inch. Keeping everything nice and consistent. Then we're going to close the lever up all the way. Once that line shift up, we're going to open up our lever 1 notch. Once that line shift, we're going to open up our lever another notch. We should be halfway in the lever, which means we should be at the very top of that guideline. If that line do not come out, just go back and repeat the same exact steps. Then we're going to come back with the 0.5 guard halfway in the lever, still using the corner of the blade because we are working in a smaller area, going over that guideline multiple times to make sure we have it down to its desired length. Then we're going to close the lever up all the way and just hit the very bottom of the guideline to soften it up. Then we're going to take the guard off, come back with the lever all the way open, just hitting the very bottom of that line. If your line is not coming out, just gradually open up your lever click by click until that line comes completely out. Remember, if you need to go up higher in the fade, just make sure that your lever is all the way open. Then we're going to come back with the 2 guard, still using the corner of the blade, and we are scooping right out because we still want to keep that shape. We're not trying to create another line, we're trying to create shape, so that's why we are scooping out. Then we're going to come back with the 1 guard. We're going to start open. Then we're going to close the lever up all the way. And we're just going to focus on just hitting the very bottom of the guideline. Now this 1 guard is not going to take that line out all the way. It's just going to soften it up and it's just going to lighten up. We're just going to work our way fading down to get rid of that line. But you see me just attacking that line and just using them corners, man. Now we're going to come back with the 0.5. Now this 0.5 should get rid of the line. You're going to start open, use the corners, and if your line is not coming out, just gradually close your lever up until that line comes completely out. If the line do not come out, just take off the guard and just use the corners with the no guard open, and your blend is going to start to come to life. Just hit them little dark spots that you see, or them hot spots. Use the last 3 teeth of that blade, and bro, be super precise, and your blend is going to get blurry. Now I'm just doing a little bit of detail work right there behind the ear. It was just too dark for my liking, so I threw on the 1 guard and using the corners just to lighten the blend up just a little bit for me. Then I threw on the 2 and just did the same exact thing. And I don't know what he was laughing at. I must have said a funny joke. And now we just gonna line up the neckline. Man, that taper is blurry. It's a blurry one. Keeping everything nice and natural, man. Nice and natural. And just look at the shape of the taper, man. We kept it nice and dark, and it also got that blur effect. That's a Mick Blurry taper, man. A Mick Blurry special. Blurry. Now we're just gonna do some detail work on the C cup just to make sure the lines are, nice and crispy. So now we're just gonna come back with our thinning shears, and we still want to keep some of that bulk, but we just want to soften it up so it can flow in nice and even once we start styling up the hair. We don't want to see a harsh weight line, but we still want to keep weight, but we want it to blend in properly. So that's why we're using the thinning shears to make that weight blend in nice and smooth. And I could have done this step right when I left off with the 5 when I was debulking at the beginning of the cut. But I like to come back and do all this stuff last once I see how the taper is in there, how the hair is laying down. Then I can come in and refine everything and get rid of all that unnecessary weight so I can blend everything in the right way. And I'm also trying to contour the shape to my client's head. And you can already see with me by using the thinning shear over comb how everything is just flowing right now. It look nice and clean. And that's exactly what we wanted. It's all about them details, man. All about the details. Then I decided to put some Tune 45 pomade in my client's hair. He liked that shiny look. I don't like using gel, so the pomade still give it that hold, but it also give it that nice shine as well that he was looking for. And you can see how the hair just looked like it's just ready to split apart. And that's from the texture that I added when I was doing the point cutting. And I'm just running my hands right through the hair just to get a little bit more separation to really pop out that texture. And this is how my client came in looking. You can see it was definitely about time for a little cleanup. And this is one of the barbers in the shop, and I swear he get a haircut more than any barber in the shop. And I tell him, I'm like, bro, barber's not supposed to have haircuts, bro. But I guess he's a little pretty boy. But this is how he came out looking. Nice little texture in the back, slit back. Everything is flowing. Nice blurry taper on the side, taper blurry in the back. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, man. Smash that subscribe button. It's your boy Morphaze. I'll see y'all in the next video, and I'm out.